We are all drawn to charismatic people. They can light up a room and captivate us with their charm. But what happens when that charm hides a darker side? This is the world of narcissism, a personality disorder characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. Narcissists often appear charming and confident on the surface. They may be successful in their careers and have a wide circle of acquaintances. However, beneath this veneer lies a fragile ego that requires constant validation. When this validation is not met, narcissists can become vindictive and controlling, lashing out at those around them. The term narcissism comes from Greek mythology. Narcissus was a young man who fell in love with his own reflection. He was so enamored with his image that he wasted away, unable to tear himself away. Similarly, narcissists are consumed by their own self-importance, often at the expense of others. This video will delve into the dark side of narcissism, exploring how individuals with this disorder use manipulative tactics like gang stalking and triangulation to control and torment their victims. Narcissists are masters of manipulation. They are often intelligent and charming individuals who can easily draw people in. They crave admiration and validation, needing to be the center of attention. This need for admiration stems from a deep-seated insecurity and a lack of self-worth. To maintain their inflated sense of self, narcissists rely on a variety of tactics. They may exaggerate their accomplishments, belittle others, or play the victim to gain sympathy. They are experts at reading people and exploiting their weaknesses. One of the hallmarks of narcissism is a lack of empathy. Narcissists have difficulty understanding or caring about the feelings of others. They see people as objects to be used for their own gain. This lack of empathy allows them to engage in manipulative and hurtful behaviors without feeling remorse. Understanding the nature of narcissism is crucial to recognizing the signs of abuse. While not all narcissists engage in extreme behaviors like gang stalking, their manipulative tendencies can have a profound impact on the lives of those around them. Gang stalking is a terrifying form of harassment that can have a devastating impact on its victims. It involves a group of people, often strangers, working together to intimidate and torment a targeted individual. Victims of gang stalking report being followed, harassed online, and subjected to various forms of psychological torture. While the motivations behind gang stalking can vary, there is a clear link between this behavior and narcissism. For narcissists, gang stalking can be a way to exert power and control over someone they perceive as a threat. This perceived threat could be a former romantic partner, a colleague, or even a family member who has dared to challenge the narcissist's inflated ego. Narcissists are skilled at manipulating others, and they may recruit friends, family, or even acquaintances to participate in gang stalking. They may use lies, guilt trips, or other forms of manipulation to convince others to join their campaign of harassment. The experience of being gang stalked can be incredibly isolating and terrifying. Victims often feel like they are going crazy, as the constant harassment can make it difficult to distinguish between what is real and what is not. The psychological impact of gang stalking can be severe, leading to anxiety, depression, and even post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Triangulation is a manipulative tactic commonly used by narcissists to create drama, insecurity, and control within their relationships. It involves bringing a third party into a two-person dynamic to manipulate the situation to their advantage. Imagine this: a narcissist might constantly compare their partner to an ex, a coworker, or even a stranger, highlighting the third party's perceived superiority. This creates insecurity and self-doubt in the victim, making them more dependent on the narcissist for validation. Another way narcissists use triangulation is by spreading rumors or sharing confidential information to stir up conflict between two people. They thrive on the drama and chaos this creates, positioning themselves as the victim or the peacemaker while secretly enjoying the discord they've orchestrated. Triangulation is a powerful tool for narcissists because it allows them to maintain control while avoiding direct confrontation. It keeps their victims off balance, questioning themselves and their relationships, and ultimately, more susceptible to the narcissist's manipulations. The toxic interplay: how gang stalking and triangulation serve narcissism. Gang stalking and triangulation, while seemingly distinct, often work together to serve the narcissist's need for control and dominance. These tactics feed off each other, creating a web of manipulation that can be incredibly difficult to escape. Imagine a scenario where a narcissist, feeling slighted by a former partner, initiates a campaign of gang stalking. They spread rumors and lies about the victim to mutual friends, turning them against the victim. This is a classic example of triangulation being used to fuel gang stalking. The narcissist might even use the gang stalking itself as a tool for triangulation. They might tell the victim that their friends are concerned about them, further isolating the victim and making them more reliant on the narcissist. This toxic interplay between gang stalking and triangulation creates a perfect storm of manipulation. The victim is left feeling isolated, confused, and terrified, while the narcissist maintains a position of power and control. Living in fear. The devastating impact on targeted individuals. The impact of gang stalking and triangulation on targeted individuals can be devastating. Victims often experience a range of emotional, psychological, and even physical symptoms. The constant fear and anxiety can lead to insomnia, panic attacks, and difficulty concentrating. Many victims report feeling isolated and alone. They may be afraid to confide in others for fear of being disbelieved or labeled as paranoid. This isolation can exacerbate the psychological effects of the abuse, leading to depression, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts. The constant harassment and manipulation can also take a toll on victims' physical health. Stress can weaken the immune system, making victims more susceptible to illness. They may also experience headaches, fatigue, and digestive problems. It's crucial to remember that the experiences of targeted individuals are real and valid. Dismissing their concerns as paranoia or delusion only further isolates them and prevents them from getting the help they need. Breaking free. Empowering victims and seeking support. Escaping the clutches of narcissistic abuse, especially when it involves gang stalking and triangulation, can be incredibly challenging, but it is not impossible. The first and most crucial step for victims is to recognize that they are not alone and that what they are experiencing is a form of abuse. Seeking support from trusted individuals, such as friends, family, therapists, or support groups, can provide victims with a lifeline. Sharing their experiences and receiving validation can be incredibly empowering and help them regain a sense of control. Documenting the abuse meticulously, including dates, times, witnesses, and any evidence of harassment, can be helpful for legal purposes and for building a case if needed. This documentation can also serve as a reminder for victims that their experiences are real and valid. It's also crucial for victims to prioritize their safety and well-being. This might involve changing phone numbers, limiting social media presence, or even relocating if necessary. Seeking professional help from therapists specializing in trauma and abuse can provide victims with the tools and strategies they need to heal and rebuild their lives. Recognizing the signs. Protecting yourself from narcissistic abuse. Protecting yourself from narcissistic abuse begins with recognizing the signs. Narcissists are often masters of disguise, but there are red flags to watch out for. Pay attention to how someone treats others, especially those in service positions. Do they lack empathy or belittle others? Be wary of individuals who constantly need to be the center of attention or who exaggerate their accomplishments. Notice how they react to criticism. Do they become defensive or angry? These can be signs of a fragile ego that cannot handle being challenged. Trust your gut instincts. If something feels off or too good to be true, it probably is. Don't be afraid to set boundaries with people who make you feel uncomfortable or disrespected. Remember, you have the right to protect yourself from emotional harm. Educating yourself about narcissism and the tactics narcissists use can empower you to make informed decisions about your relationships and protect yourself from abuse. Conclusion. Shining a light on the shadows of narcissism. Narcissism, with its manipulative tactics like gang stalking and triangulation, operates in the shadows, often leaving victims feeling isolated, confused, and deeply hurt. By shining a light on these behaviors, we can empower individuals to recognize the signs of abuse, seek support, and ultimately break free from the narcissist's web of control. Understanding the dynamics of narcissism is not about labeling individuals but about recognizing patterns of behavior that can be harmful. It's about fostering empathy and support for those who have been affected by narcissistic abuse and promoting healthy, respectful relationships. If you or someone you know is struggling with the effects of narcissistic abuse, remember that you are not alone. There are resources available to help you heal and rebuild your life. By raising awareness and offering support, we can create a world where the shadows of narcissism no longer hold power over our lives.